Dharmic culture, I will summarize Dharmic. Dharmic culture is a vast set of things. I will summarize Dharmic culture in terms of 5 statements. First, there is multiple life metaphysics. People have multiple lives, and through multiple lives, the human subject represents the capacity for divine life, and that is freedom or liberation from karma. Moksha, in other words. That's a fundamental principle of dharma. The second principle of dharma is that the highest form of help a human being can receive is one that enables that human being to achieve that condition of freedom or to achieve moksha. The third principle is that the guru, as embodied divinity, is indispensable for achieving the condition of freedom. The guru is that highest form of help, and the guru is also the call to discipline and effort in surrendering to the divine. The fourth principle is that embodied knowledge is the ultimate. It is self-authenticating and self-legitimating. What do I mean by embodied knowledge? I mean knowledge of the truth. I mean what in Sanskrit we call jnana, what the Greeks used to call gnosis, which is knowledge of truth. And this is not knowledge that can be codified, it cannot be disembodied. It exists within the person who has experienced the truth. Experiential knowledge, embodied knowledge, knowledge that cannot be disembodied, it cannot be codified, it cannot be put into a textbook or a manual in simple representational language. That is the nature of scientific truth, by the way. Scientific truth is disembodied knowledge, meaning it can be disembodied, it can be put into a manual, it can be put into a textbook. But yogic knowledge, the knowledge of jnana, is embodied knowledge and is embodied in the guru. And that knowledge is the ultimate knowledge. And it is self-authenticating, it is self-legitimating. It does not require any empirical evidence. Okay, so it's completely different from scientific knowledge. That's the fourth principle of dharma. The fifth principle of dharma is that the human condition is shot through and through with contingency. The working of karma also admits contingency. What is contingency? Contingency is radical uncertainty. Okay, our lives are filled with uncertainty. Some of this uncertainty we can describe in probabilistic terms. We can call it risk, but much of it is outside the domain of risk. It's just pure uncertainty. It's contingency. The gods, the rituals, the practices in Dharmic culture activate and animate a human being's passage through life in the face of contingency. This is what our gods do for us. This is what our rituals and practices do for us. They help us navigate this domain of contingency. And so lived reality in Dharmic culture is basically a politics and an ethics of contingency mediated by the sacred. The sacred is very important. Without the sacred, it is impossible to navigate this contingency. And think about why this is important for public policy, because this is important in the lives of the poor. Religion is important for the poor. The sacred is important for the poor because the poor, their lives are full of contingency. And if they believe because it helps them to live lives in the face of this kind of contingency.